Guys, what we have to understand is he says that we take God's truth, we use that as a foundation, and sure, if we have to work things through, there's a process to do that. All kinds of principles that have to be applied to be able to do that in an effective way. And here's why this is important. Because it enables you and myself to be able to actually honor God in the way that we live. Now, I want to illustrate this if I can by showing you something kind of embarrassing in my past. When I was growing up, I was in high school, early high school. I think I was a sophomore. Basketball was everything to me, and I was having a killer year. But I got to tell you, there was one game. It was amazing. I still remember it so clearly. We were in the middle of this. We were in the game, and we were actually just partway through the first quarter, and I already had 12 points. I mean, I was on my way to a 50-point game. I was just killing it. And because I was doing so well, I was feeling pretty full of myself at that moment. I remember so clearly, I drove the lane, and a guy actually stepped in front, held his position, and I just barreled right through him. Got the charging call. So I stand there with the ball. The guy's laying on the ground there, and I looked at the ref. And the ref reached for the ball, and I took it and did this. And then I just rolled it right behind me, and it rolled all the way to the other end of the gymnasium, and everybody watched it. Needless to say, the ref thought this was a good idea, hit me with a tee. And I want to make sure you remember the time that it was back then. This was back when we actually cared about character, specifically character in sports. Remember, character used to be more important than winning. You may not remember that, but it did. And so because of that, everybody who had been cheering me so loudly, because they had been, I was killing it, began to boo me like crazy. And I turn around, I'm walking back to the other end, and it's interesting, over everybody screaming, everybody yelling, there was this one dude that was going crazy, screaming, take him out, take him out. And finally, way up in the crowd there, I saw this guy and realized it was my father. And I knew I was to have a very short life at that point. And there was great fear that I felt. But I got to tell you, there was something else, just for the record, he did take me out. I didn't get to play the rest of the game, ruined everything. So it was such a bummer for me. But the reality is, I needed to be taught a lesson, but I also recognized I felt really bad because I really humiliated my dad. I really, really did. Guys, you have to understand that we should not want that to ever happen relative to God. You know, the Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 2 talked about this. He talked about that when we say that we actually follow him, but we don't really do it in the way that we live. He actually said in chapter 2, verse 24, the name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles because of you. It means people make fun of God because of the way you live. You've always heard, oh, there's so many hypocrites in the church, that type of stuff. The reality, guys, is we need to do this. We need to recognize that we don't want to be a part of humiliating God. So you know what? I think we'll stand up. I think we'll do what we need to do. That we have to be the kind of people that want to step forward and realize that we have a chance to be able to make that kind of difference simply in the way we live this week. Let's live that way. Andy, we're going to